Hey everybody, how's it going? So welcome to the final episode of Cadnham Castle, and as always, this is the special one. We get to go on a tour of the park from peep level, and we're going to ride all of the coasters in their final form. Yeah, I'll also bung it on the workshop as well for you. So, huge thanks to all of you for sticking around and joining us for this one, especially the channel members who've clicked the join button, and those who have left super thanks, because you guys really do help this channel to exist. The next park project is coming up. I'll tell you more about that later on, but God help my PC. So this is Cadnham Castle. And guys, what a series this has been. I mean, wow. If you are joining us for the first time, by the way, Cadnham Castle is a Paulton's Park inspired park here in the UK. So it's all about the family thrills aged, 6 to probably 13 or so. So we're talking mild family thrills with a lot of theming but not much money spent, and this is the modern entrance that they've got. It's not a modern park by any means, but it's just had a bit of a facelift, a little bit like Paulton's Park did. So this is the entrance. We'll go in there in a moment, but first off we need to get our tickets. So this is the ticket entrance, the ticket office, and I like it. Like, it's been quite a while since I've seen this, because I recorded these first episodes sort of probably October, November time in 2022, so by the time the episodes went out, they were already a couple of months old, and I'd almost forgotten what this looked like, and I'm alright with it. Like, yes, I quite like it, particularly this view. I mean, that sign, Spike just did such an awesome job at that sign. Like, I can't thank Spike enough. He's like some kind of visual artist master. Like, you can give him a design for a sign and he'll just do it. You'll see that later if you haven't already. So anyway, let's just get on with it, because we're still outside the park, right? So here we go, turnstiles that are inside here. And then we come through this way. And then, of course, we've just got a bit of a foyer area. But we can go into a restaurant, which is all themed around adventure and stuff like that. So it's kind of like borrowing on a bit of a theme that you're going to see in the park later on. And then this way we have the gift shop in all of its colour and glory. Yes. I mean, Paulton's Park called. They want every aspect of their park back. All of it. They're suing me for copyright infringement. IP infringement. Not even sorry. So, here's the main plaza. This is actually different to Paulton's Park, you'll be pleased to know. But I wanted this idea of a slightly open plaza, almost as if in the old days these rides would have been here and they've never moved. This would have been like almost a field or something, but I wanted it to feel like it was still a little bit existing from the old days. Of course, there's the water that you can sit by, and that's all sort of like a lake that would rise and fall throughout the seasons. It's not fed by any kind of river or tributary or anything like that. It's just a lake. But I wanted to have a bit of a seating area down here so that you can sit and just look out over the rest of the park on the other side, like the pirate area. And in the background, you can just see the Plomple Pop Ferris wheel. And you can also see... Oh, you can't see it. Oh, that was quite a good sightline hiding, actually. Well, you can see the building for the wing coaster, but you can't actually see the wing coaster itself. Oh, perhaps I did an alright job at designing that after all. So, anyway, we are going to go around the left-hand side of the park first. We're going to do this almost in the episode order that we did it in. But yeah, then we've got we've just got this little monstrosity here. It's probably the tallest ride in the park, actually. It's the view, and the idea is that you'll be able to see all of the surrounding countryside and whatever. But this is the first little beauty, so look at that for timing. Couldn't do that again if I tried. So it's the booster bikes, very, very, very similar to the likes of Flamingo Land and the booster bikes that they've got there. Yeah, I just wanted to keep it very simple. It's a very simple layout. It does what it needs to do, and of course it introduces you to the world of Cadnham Castle. So yeah, here we go with the path. The path is wider than I had originally planned, because it needed to be, basically. I just really badly planned how this park was going to go. But this was the first area that we did then. This is Rockin' Road Raceway, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. You've just got the ice cream shop that's on the side here. I wanted to have it dual sides so that you could have a shop this side, so you didn't have to go into the area to be able to refresh and whatever. But I also wanted to have this area down here, which is like the ice cream area. So I still wish those signs would rotate. It's just, that's the only thing that's missing, and you can't make them rotate, so I can't, even if I wanted to, so I'm not going to lose sleep over it. But the raceway theme came about because it was supposed to be like an Americana town where the races had come in, so that's what this is all about. kept the queue line and everything very simple. You can see the launch of all of the bikes and stuff from this area, and of course there is the entrance sign, Moto Madness, as named by you guys on the channel. It's a 45-minute queue currently. We are going to skip. It's not a 45-minute queue at all because I've emptied the park of guests. So anyway, this is the station, and this is the station area. Nice and simple design. I wanted to keep this modern, and so to do this station, I sort of had to investigate how self-supporting roofs and stuff are, because you can tell, right, that this doesn't have any kind of supporting on this side, and it's cantilever supported. So yeah, it's fascinating to read how cantilevers work and whatever. And it is brilliant. Anyway, trains here. Should we go for a ride? I mean, that's definitely the best of the two layouts of booster bikes that I've ever done. So there you go. Take that as an accolade. There's the stats for you guys. That's what the coaster is looking like. And then there's the results tab, because I know that you guys asked me to do this. So there you go. There are the results. Right. Carrying on, this is the view that you're going to get from the exit path, and it's still, I love it. Like, you get some really, really awesome views. You've got the Is It Mack, Is It Intamin coaster in the background. You can see the Woodie over on the left hand side. You can see the rest of the area. It just feels perfect, right? At least for me anyway, it feels like it's a good one. So we're going to exit via the very, very, very simple gift shop. I don't know how I'm going to get out of here without getting stuck on something, because this is like take 8 of this section. There you go. We did it. We did it, guys. We did it. Yes. Right. So we've got outside here. We have the petrol station. So I wanted to almost like theme this as if this was the proper town, right? So this is the petrol station. And then, of course, you've got the garage for the car ride. I love how this looks from this view. I didn't bother to do the inside, by the way. I just kept it as an empty shed, because the outside does all the talking for you. Like, it's simple, but it's elegant, and it just looks as if it would. It just looks as it would in real life, as if you were on like America's Route 66 or whatever. You find all of these little garages and stuff, you know, like repair shops and whatever. And then, of course, you've got the diner. This diner took forever to do. And even then, I realised there were bits of the roof missing, and none of you pointed it out. That was the best thing. I was showing you everything, and there was bits of the roof missing and all sorts. Not anymore. I fixed it all. But this is the diner, and this was so worth the effort. Like, this is the crowning glory. And in fact, the entire area grew up around this diner. So, and this is the inside of the diner. Like, yes, I wanted it to feel relatively modern, but very diner-esque. Like, and this is what we've got. And yes, and the Cadillac. Is it Cadillac? The car. We'll just call it a car, because I know you guys are going to fight over what type of car it is. So the car is there as well. Love it. Anyway, we're going to walk out the wall. Ta-da! And then we've got the weird Lupo plane, which is supposed to be a mimic. And I didn't make this clear in the episode. It's only like narrative I've told you since. But we've got the Lupo plane, which is supposed to be a mimic of the diner sign. It's supposed to be the diner sign. Anyway. That's not what we're here for, because we're going into Gold Rush Grove. This was the second area that we did, and I still love this area too. Like, yes, mind the trip hazard, by the way. Yeah, I had to put the rails at that height, because you lose them at a distance. So anyway, this is the western area. It's all themed around the wooden coaster, the GCI wooden coaster, who supports still Outpiece Moomin Little Socks Park. That's an embarrassment for me. because it's made my PC cry. But as you can see, totally worth it. Like, absolutely perfectly put together. It just sits so nicely right at the back of the area, just like there. And of course, the queue line itself is just beautifully oppressive and typically Chacho. There you go. It's not a cattle pen, but it's also just disgusting. And then, of course, it comes around this way and then towards this way into the station. Oh, we're not in the queue anymore. Great camera work. Into the station area. This was supposed to be. We're going to go this way, right? This was supposed to be a bit of a pre-show area, but actually, I decided not to. I just decided it would just be queue, and you'd be done with it. But then you walk into the station area here, and you've got all sorts of stuff going on. You've got like things hanging from the ceiling, like the mine carts and whatever, and you've just got the usual row numbers and all of the clutter that you would find in a Western themed roller coaster station, and I love it. Right, I still look back on this and go, yeah, this was a good station. This was a good build. So let's enjoy it in all of its glory. Let's go for a ride. And who doesn't love to ride a good Woodie? I mean, I've told that joke so many times, it's just becoming a bit old. 9 series. Once you find a joke, you've got to latch onto it and just keep telling it. Anyway, there's the stats for you guys, as always, as promised. So let's get a move on and go to our next area. So this ugly building to the right of the exit path is the maintenance shed, and I wanted to show how that was all going to work in real life. So I talked through that in the actual episode itself, and of course we exit via the gift shop. And simple gift shop, I mean, you guys know how I do my gift shops by now, but this is the area, this is the main western area, and you get such good sight lines from this like part of the park. So if we go down this way, for example, I've who's singing? You get like this mix of fencing and foliage and curbs and whatever. So I wanted to like try out this area as if it would be landscaped a little bit better than I would normally do. So that's why we've got like mixes of topiary hedges and fences and stuff. Then the arcade came about, and I wanted that to be a barn. So if you look inside here, it's a full-on arcade, but it's very minimalist arcade. It is just a shed of games. There's nothing particularly special with this inside, but the outside makes it look good, right? So yeah, well, at least I think it looks good. And then, of course, you've got the claw ride that's living here, very much inspired this time by Drayton Manor and how the Maelstrom area is pulled together. But that's where I also found out about this double fencing technique that you can have. So you don't necessarily have to have ridiculously high fences to fence off a ride area. If you have double fences that are actually difficult to get over, it means that the intent to enter the ride area exists if somebody does, and therefore they are then liable for their own injuries. But you're still doing everything in your power to stop them entering. So that's kind of what we're going for there. And then we have the Chacho toilets. I should make that an actual sound. Poe, if you're watching, do you want to make that a thing on your channel, on your Twitch stream? Chacho toilets. Anyway. Oh man. So there's the toilets. You know how I do my toilets for now. you know, you've seen it many, many times. But then we come to the dark ride that actually to this day still has no name. I forgot to name it, guys, and I'm sorry. But this is the dark ride. The idea being that it's a Western shooting ride set in a speakeasy where there's a bandit that goes like running around and stuff, and it's within a hotel. So this is the hotel from the outside. I wanted to keep this understated. When I finished the building, I wasn't too sold on the actual building itself. I wasn't allured. Is that allured? Allured? I don't know what the word is. Guys, COVID has really ruined my vocabulary. I now can only like speak in words that are less than 3 syllables. So anyway, I wasn't really like in love with the building to start with, but now I look at it from peep level, it actually looks all right, because obviously I know it's a warehouse underneath, right? So it works. Anyway, this is the inside queue. It's supposed to be the inside of the hotel, like the restaurant area and stuff. So that's simple, but of course, because you need quite a lot of area, quite a lot of space for the queue, there's not really a lot of decorating you can do other than the walls. Music, by the way, Ross Budgeton does all of this stuff for film and movie trailers, and he does this whole suite of copyright-free music, and that's what you can hear right now. This is his Western enthused one, and it's perfect for this ride. So this is the station. This is how it looks from the inside the station. Nice, simple station. I didn't want to kit like too much out in this area because the detail comes in the ride later on, which you're about to see. There you go, guys. Given it was supposed to be a shooting ride with targets and everything, and it ended up being a track ride, I'll actually take it. Like, I quite like it. And just in case you were wondering, because I get asked this quite a lot, I didn't use the car rotation throughout because the POV was just too sickly. It was because it's a compact version of this ride, and they're designed in Planet Coaster to be long, drawn-out rides. It wasn't very good. That's the stats, by the way, in case you were wondering. And then this. It's what it looks like. No, that's not. That's PM. That's the wrong time. This is what this corridor looks like. Yes. I chose uplighting, by the way, because it's my park and I get to make these design decisions. And you don't use kerosene in an enclosed area. That's all I'm going to say. But then this is the gift shop. So let me just put this back to daytime. Get rid of the UI. There you go. The gift shop is again, all the usual stuff that you'd see me do in a gift shop, so I'm not going to go too much onto that, because this is the rest of the area as you leave. Like, the views you get of the wooden coaster, the views you get of the rest of the park, and the next bit that we're going to. So, for the next area, we could go this way, right? Into Cobra Cove. You can go this way, but there's an area of the park that I've not shown you yet, and I do want to show you because you guys loved it. So I took lots of care and attention to try and split the two areas apart here. So of course you can see the back end of Cobra Cove on the left hand side here, right? But what I've done is I've put lots of foliage in just to make it a little bit overgrown. So it's sort of trying to hide it, but it's also very much making a point that it's there. And it's a fine balance between the two. The railway line, by the way, in terms of law of the park or canon of the park, there would have been a train at one point that went through here, but they just decided to get rid of it to put in all of the other attractions, but they kept the rails there for theming. So anyway, this is what I wanted to show you. This is the viewing platforms that you get of the car ride. Ah, you guys loved the car ride. And in fact, so do I. Like, I wasn't expecting... You can't really see it from down here, actually, can you? Anyway, I wasn't expecting it to turn out as well as it did, and it actually turned out really, really well. Like, especially when you start putting the tarmac down and hiding the actual track, that's when it came to life. That's when, for me, it was like, yes, this is going to be good, and this is going to be a good ride. So, yes. Love it, love it, love it. And the music just finishes it off. It just like, yeah, it does such a wonderful job. So this is the way that I wanted to go into Cobra Cove, because this is the best view that you get of the is it Intamin, is it Mack? And to this day we still haven't decided whether it's Intamin or Mack. So whatevs. But yeah, this is Cobra Cove. Awesome view of the first drop, and awesome view of the turnaround here, right? So here is the first drop as the train comes down. Remember, these coasters are not meant to be thrilling. This is not Cedar Point. That's the next park project. You guys have asked me to do a Cedar Point style mega park, so that's going to be big, and that's going to be ostentatious, and that's going to be bigger is better, better, faster, stronger, whatever you want to, taller, whatever you want to call it. So this is all about small thrills, and like. Yeah, love it, love it, love it, love it. So anyway, we've got the golden rising raptor, rising raptor. Got the rising raptor here. Oh man, how are you still here? Like, how are you guys sticking around? I've also got the splash pad that's living here. I wanted there to be like a play area in this area, and this is just the perfect thing. Splash pads are just perfect. So we're going to come into the queue here, and it does just wind around. So you've not actually seen it from this level before, but you do just wind around the. We're not going to walk the entire queue, by the way, but you do walk around the entire area of the coaster, and you get these amazing, like, in-depth, really immersive bits of the queue where you interact with the jungle and the coaster simultaneously. Oh, yes, like this. I love it. Like, it's just, it feels so put together. Yes, it gives me Colossus at Thorpe Park vibes, actually, if I'm honest. Like, this is the sort of thing that you would find at Thorpe Park. So anyway, we're going to go up this way. Wait, where's the... There we go. There's the stairs. No, we can't go that way. There we go. Into the station. Oh, seamless camera work. Brilliant camera work. But there's the station. Again, nice and simple in here. Remember that for this park, most of the money would be spent on the actual ride itself, and the theming around it wouldn't be an afterthought. There's care and attention and love put into it, but there's not money put into it. So this is why the station is possibly like a bit basic, but I love it. And the train is here. So I'm just going to shut up and go for a ride. Right, you guys, let's settle this once and for all. Is this Intamin or is this Mack? Comments below, please. Thank you kindly. There you go, stats fans. There's your stats for the coasters. And if you are wondering, no, your coasters don't need to be all green across the board to be good. This is still perfectly acceptable. The prestige is still actually pretty good. So in case you are ever panicking about your coasters being all green, don't worry. They don't need to be. So let's carry on the tour, and this is the area as it is from the exit path. I wanted the exit path to interact really closely with the actual coaster itself. Would there be a net here? Possibly. You can argue it. The reason there is no net here is because of the loitering factor. You wouldn't loiter here, so therefore you're not in too much of a danger. However, if you were Alton Towers, you probably would put a net there. Anyway, we're going to crack on. So this is the area from the other side. We're just going to walk through the splash pad. There you go. We're going to walk down this way. See, the stuttering still exists, by the way, in Cadnham, so I've got no idea what it is. So past Rocking Road Raceway, and we're going to go into the pirate area. Quite possibly my favourite. Oh no, I can't say that anymore actually, because I think Plomple Land is my favourite area. I don't know what to call my favourite. Anyway, Buccaneer Bay is the name of this one. Continuing the theme of alliteration that we had in the park. This is themed around stucco pirate, as I like to call it. So think of like Tudor and Stuart's kind of buildings. You know, the whole white stucco and exposed beam. These buildings took forever to do, but they were so worth doing, and they look so amazing from this point of view. And I love it. I love it. This ride viewing platform, by the way, also took a while to do. It was originally a completely straight flush viewing area, and I ended up making it curved, and I ended up curving a rod for my own back because I ended up having to do all sorts of weird, wonderful things with pathing to make it work. But hey, it works, and that's the ultimate thing, because this is the sort of view that you get of the trains as they enter the splashdown, and it was just totally worth doing. Look at that. Yes. Yes. So I wanted this to be similar to Krampus Expedition at Negloland. So it had to look new, and it had to be all like the pale blue for the water colour and stuff. So yeah, I also wanted it to tell a kind of tell a story, but not tell a story at the same time, because they spent the money on the coaster and not on the actual story itself. In the background, you can see the spinning coaster, so that fits in perfectly. Like, that was always planned to sort of be there, but it didn't really fit in the original format that I did it, but now it does, and oh yes, love it. And then of course you've got the pirate ship that's here. So the pirate ship just sitting pretty. It's completely unloved and unused by guests, because that's how the pirate ship is in game. But hey, it is what it is. And then we've got the flying ride over here. Sitting, why are you there? Like, you should be in the other area, but it's because of the wing coaster being put in that sort of cut it off from the main area, and it just lives there as a ride because it's too expensive to move, but it was still popular enough to keep. And then of course you've got the two shops that I put together here. So this one, I think, is the sweet shop, right? Yeah, this is the sweet shop. So that's the sweet shop from the outside. And then, of course, you've got the ice cream shop, the ice cream parlour from the outside here. And if you go inside this one, then, of course, you've got your ice creams and stuff on your counters and whatever that you've got going on here. So, talking about the area, I wanted it to feel like a fort, a pirate fort, so that's why we've got this bad boy here. But actually, it was also half planned to be there so that you could still see it from the wing coaster area and the spoopy area, so it sort of kept a bit of continuity in the depth of vision that you get from the park, the like sight lines. And then, of course, we go back to the water coaster, which we're going to go on now. But I wanted this to be a house that's sitting like on the harbour side, so that's what this is all about. And then when you enter into this way, here is the station. I learned this excuse me, I learned this really cool trick with the western drapes that you can get. You know, the ones you can have 3 colours on. If you colour them white and put them in this kind of a configuration, they actually look like sails. So there you go, today's top tip. There's the coaster. The boat's just rammed into the back of the other boat, nice and safe. Let's go for a ride. just in time, Plomple Pop's music has just kicked off, and now I've got some kind of PTSD going on. But anyway, these are the stats of the water coaster. Of course, the stats are hurt by the water trough parts of the ride, but hey, you know, it is what it is. So let's leave the ride and go into the main area. This is the view that you get of the drop as you exit the coaster. I love it. Like, it's just the perfect view. It really, really is. So we're going to come around this way and we're going to talk about the rest of the buildings in this area before we go on the spinning coaster. So this is another building that took forever to pull together because it's multiple grids and no grids at the same time. There's lots of walls that aren't on grids. There's lots of gridded walls that aren't on grids. It was hard work, but it was worth it. So worth it because it's just so intricate. This was my challenge to myself to not build square buildings, and yes, I think I pulled it off. So inside here, it's just a simple restaurant. Lots of portholes and stuff that are around here. The same techniques with the sail effect, with the drapes and whatever. So that's what I wanted there. And then inside the gift shop, there we go, gift shop, typical gift shop, but it's still a gift shop. And then I've just made sure that I've kept the exposed beams and stuff going on in here. But then we come to this area up here. So we walk along the queue line of the water coaster, and then we enter into this one here, Kraken Curse. Yes, I wanted this to feel like it was an offshoot of an area. It was added quite late in the day, so that's why it's not properly integrated into the pirate area, but it's too small an area for it to be a theme of its own. So that's why it ended up being part of the pirate theme. But look at this building. Like, even from down here, it actually looks decent. And then you've got the toilet building there. Also looks quite decent. I'll take it, right? I'll take it. Cha-cha toilets. You guys, by the way, pointed out that these barrels are awesome. Like, this was just a happy accident. I was just like, what am I going to use? What am I going to use to stop guests from going down there? Like, just stick some barrels there. The guests can still go down there, but you guys liked it, so I'll take it. So anyway, back to Kraken Curse. Of course, we've got the maintenance area down this way. I did toy with having barriers and stuff here, and I thought, well, would guests really come down here? Well, I suppose they would, but how are you going to stop them? You can't really, so we won't. So here's the queue for Kraken's Curse. It is, after all, a spinning coaster, so its throughput is absolute trash. It needs quite a bit of space for queue line, so that's what we've got. That's what we've got here. But the station building, oh, yes, I love this station building. This was again another new technique that I tried, and it's so simple. It's just woods and beams and stuff, but it's how you layer them and whatever to make it look like it's exposed wood and stuff. I don't know why I'd never thought to do it before, but hey. Every day's a school day, right? So this is the... Oh, hang on. There we go. This... Great camera work again. This is the station from the inside. I love the fact, by the way, that you guys were actually telling me that dual stations on spinning coasters do actually exist. So I'm kind of glad that you've validated my thought process here. I couldn't find any examples IRL to actually work from, so I just went with it and hoped for the best. But actually, you guys tell me they exist, so... I'm happy with that. I'll take it. I'll take it as a win. So, we're going to go for a ride on this one. I'm going to warn you in advance. It's a spinning coaster. What did you expect? Let's go. See what I mean? You shouldn't be surprised by it. There's the stats then, you guys. Again, decent stats across the board. We'll take it. Right, let's carry on our adventure as we enter. No, we don't enter. We exit via the game stall. There we go. So we're going to walk back down this way because we're going to go and see some winged goodness. There we go. So we're going to carry on walking down past the shops and stuff. And then as we go round the corner... There, yes. There she is. Crow's Creek. So the wing coaster, that puts Maximus and the Jumanji coaster at Chessington World Adventures to shame. This is not supposed to be a ridiculously thrilling wing coaster. This is a family wing coaster that kids are supposed to be able to ride. Of course, they can't in Planet Coaster. That's not how the game is designed. But hey, here we love it. So this started out as a Western area. And not a Western area, sorry, that's a lie. It started out as a sci-fi area, and I completely rejected the sci-fi area because it just didn't feel right. So instead, I started to play with this spoopy building that you see in front of you here. Like, the whole idea of Legoland Monster House Party kind of like appealed to me. So I didn't want to have scary horror. I wanted it to be spoop. And I've never used a spoopy pack before, not in its true glory. Closest I came was Shorehaven Pier's Ghost Train. And that was supposed to be jank. So this ended up being like a complete experiment. And I love it. Like, I talk about the actual design and stuff and why some things are offset and some things aren't level and whatever. I talk about that in the episode. But this building just dominates the area and it's great. And I love the fact that it's two houses. So like this station building here and then the food unit is just... Yes. Yes. I just love it. Like from this area, it just looks good. And then of course you've got the whole ride area coming over here, so you can actually see the coaster in all of its glory. So if we enter into the queue line as the train leaves, hello. The queue line then just stretches all the way out this way. Bit of a vampire at Chessington World of Adventures vibe going on in here. Actually, we're still ignoring the spikes on the fence and the fact that children like to climb on things and fall on things. Still ignoring that. But then we come into the station area here. There is some stuff that kicks off in here. You will see that when you download the park for yourself. But yeah, like thunder and whatever that goes on. And then this is the station building. And again, this is another build that took forever to pull together. And that's because, there we go. If I stand on the fence here, you can see it. Wing coasters are dual loading, right? But Planet Coaster's wing coasters are not. So you have to find a way of making it look like it's loading from both sides, this side and this side. But what that does is it actually presents a challenge for you, because you not only have to get the path somehow to both sides of the station, you also have to have an exit both sides of the station. So you have this unique challenge of, do you bring it up and over the track? Do you believe it? Do you bring it underneath the track? Do you enter from both sides somehow and fork it off? Careful, guys. Yeah, so it's just a unique challenge, but it's worth fighting it out with, because this is the sort of thing that it's gone really quiet. It's gone really quiet, and it's like a bit weird. So yeah, this is the unique challenge that you get. But ultimately, what I ended up doing was just decorating it on the inside and going with the flow, and the rest just happened. So there you go. We've got the queue line that goes over the top here and then down to the side, and then you've got the exit path. Our exit path on this side, as the autosave kicks in, is here. Right, autosave is kicked in. I'm going to not talk anymore. Rather than re-record this bit, we're just going to go for a ride. See you in a minute. The autosave in this park, by the way, you guys, in case you're wondering, actually isn't that bad. It's nowhere near the World of You Muse level, so it's all good when you download it. So here's the stats of the coaster. They're not actually that bad, given that the coaster is designed smaller than the game intended it to be, so we'll take it. So we're going to exit this way, though, because... There we go. We're going to go into the gift shop from this side again. Usual gift shop stuff that you see in here. Nothing to see here. But we're going to walk out this way, and you get some really, really good sight lines of that 0G roll. Yes. And do you remember I was talking about the fort? Well, there you go. That's the sight line you get from here. So the two areas actually ended up complementing each other. So it's good to go. I'll take it. Yes. And I quite like the spoopy pack now. Like, I always use the spooky stuff for not spooky things, but yeah, I'm sold. I like the spooky pack. Now we come into the pièce de la résistance of this park. The reason this park exists, it's leeching on an IP of a TV program. Shots fired at you, Paulton's Park. So, welcome to Professor Plomple Pop. If I couldn't have timed that any better. Right, we need to talk about this. I was going to, save this. I literally couldn't have timed that any better. That was completely untimed. So, Professor Plomple Pop is a fictitious character from the Chatterlandia series. It was a random coaster I put in. It was themed to this cartoon character that didn't exist. It was just a theme to a cartoon character. It kind of grew legs and got out of control in this park because Paulton's Park has got Peppa Pig. This park has got Professor Plomple Pop. So this area that you're going to be walking around now, it's like this cartoon land. It's low poly, high detailed cartoon. It's my favourite area of the park. When I finished it, I found two pieces of music. The one that's playing now, which is supposed to be the theme tune from the TV show that's triggered to go off every month. Imagine listening to that on repeat when you work here. And the other one is the underlying music you can hear, which is just a bit of fun. So, this sign is done by Spike. I cannot take any creative credit for this at all, because this is incredible. The sign is incredible. Yes. So, the whole music. PTSD. So this is Professor Plomple Pop himself. He was submitted by a friend of the channel as part of a competition. Details and all of that. I've not written any of these details down and I don't remember them. It's all the details are in the channel. This was the winner of that submission and it was perfect. So Professor Plomple Pop now has an identity and of course he has friends that Spike put together. I've got the names wrong, so I'm just going to tell you that they're his friends. So there's one friend. There's two friends. There's three friends. Yes. So this whole area is supposed to be highly coloured, all for kids. The TV program would be somewhere, in the age of 6 to 10. It's a proper kids area. The playground is just this brightly coloured mulch. In fact, this would probably be the rubber matting, so you can actually get different coloured rubber matting, but I've used the mulch in game, so let's just squint and pretend, right? But this is the playground, and we've never actually been inside one of the playgrounds. So here we go. Here's the playground. This area would be so much fun. I want to go play. Guys, this area pulling it together was just... It was like being a kid again. It was great. I got to let out everything that was a kid. It's great. So there's the Plomple Pop coaster. We're going to talk about that, the last thing we're going to do. So let's actually look at the rest of the area because we came over here to see the friends, but this is the town or the city that Plomple Pop lives within. So the idea being that there's this scientist guy that goes around causing all of this mischief by doing science experiments and stuff. So that's why he's like he is. And this is the whole idea of the colour. So we've got the Professor Plomple shop. And inside here is not your usual gift shop. I've actually done stuff in here, like bespoke. Shocker, I know. But yeah, so that's the shop. So the style of this one is very much like New Orleans-y kind of style. It would be a British show, but the art style is very New Orleans inspired with the buildings and stuff. Lots of rides around here, and those rides have got lots of colour and lots of stuff, lots of kids rides. So this doesn't have a thrill ride in this area. Over here, we've got the laboratory where everything happens. So this is actually a converted factory. And it's supposed to be part of the town, right? So there's a factory within the town because you've got industrial areas and stuff. But inside here is where all the mayhem happens. So this is supposed to represent all of the experiments and stuff that are going on in here. I decided not to put special effects and whatever. It kind of wasn't needed in the end. So that's why the lighting rigs and stuff are up. I was going to put lights and stuff. But actually, no, it didn't need it. Yeah, guys, I love it. I've never actually seen this from Peep View, and I'm liking the sightlines. Like, it's actually better than I designed. Chacho toilets! Of course, Chacho toilets. So there you go. There's your Chacho toilets. There's a train station over this way. So there you go. You've got the railway station. Again, this is this idea of low poly, high detail. So the train station didn't need to be this elaborate train station. This was enough. Because it's a cartoon, and it's supposed to look like it does in the cartoon, and the whole idea of the cartoon would be that the railway station would be relatively low detail, but that's what you've got here. So lots of colour, simple straight lines. Yes. Then we kind of figured out why the witch exists. So the witch is the protagonist. She's the enemy, if you like, the anti-hero. So she's the one that's always trying to stop Plomple Pop having fun. So that's why she's there and not in the spoopy area. And we come around this way through what we decided was going to be a market stall with all the games and stuff, and then you've just got the other side of the building. So there's the Plomple shop on the other side, and then of course the ice cream shop on that side. Then we're going to walk past the Swift Eagles. We're going to come down to the boat ride. So this is like a hotel. So within the show itself is this hotel where some of Plomple Pop's guest stars would appear, and that's where their storylines would play out, because they're visiting Plomple Pop in his fictitious town, and they don't stay in his house because he's probably a bit of a creepy weirdo. But the children's programs are like that, by the way. If you ever watch any of your favourite kids programs back, some of them are proper dodgy. So this is the boat ride. This is like telling one of the stories from the show. So stuff happens as you go around, and you get to meet all of his friends and whatever. So that's all good. And then over this way, you have the car ride. So the car ride itself doesn't really have any purpose to it. It's just the ability to sit in a car and wander around Plomple Land. This is probably a ride that was in when the park didn't have Plomple Pop Land, and they didn't get rid of the ride. They just rethemed it and threw some of the theming around, and this is what you end up with. But I actually quite like this from down this side, you know, you guys. Like, this is better than I remember it when I designed it, and it was only a couple of weeks ago. So let's talk Plomple Pop Coaster, because you have seen this layout 3 times. So you saw it in the original Chacholandia, you saw a clone of it in Grosvenor Gardens, but it wasn't themed to Plomple Pop, and now it's properly done. This is kind of how I wish it looked in Chacholandia. This as a standalone coaster should have been how it was. And in fact, maybe I might go back and like retheme it or something, but yeah, maybe not. Whatever. So the queue line itself is quite oppressive. Slight design changes actually going on in here from Chacholandia. If you remember Chacholandia, this bit in here that we're looking at now, he's staring at me, that's creepy. Let's just move away. This bit that we're standing in now was can you tell how much fun I had doing this? Was actually a plaza area. And you had the Photoshop that's now staring at us in front of us now. So where this queue line is would have been the photo booth and whatever. So it's very differently designed, but the layout is exactly the same. So I didn't want to just copy it across from Chacholandia, because that's, you know, it's lazy enough bringing across the actual coaster design, let alone bringing across all of the rest of the area. So then we come into this space in here. And we come into the house. Now, the house originally was completely kitted out. I talked about this in the actual episode. The house was kitted out. It had lots of detail. It had lots of stuff. But then it felt oppressive. It lost its charm. It lost its magic. I took it all out, and I just ended up with this. And yes, you may look at this now and go, well, this looks crap. I think I would have preferred the house. Trust me, you wouldn't. This is so much better. This ended up in the same pile as the sci-fi stuff did for the Wing Coaster. So, without further ado, let's go on a ride. So here's a question for you. Does that feel like a different ride from Chatterlandia? Because I think it does. The theming, like, in the area makes it feel like a different ride, even though it's the same layout. So I think it's a success. There's the stats for you guys. Not a particularly high-performing coaster. It's not meant to be. It's designed for kids. So chill out. So let's carry on this way, and we exit back through this way. And guys, I'm just going to take one last look at this area, because this is my favourite view of this area from down here, where you're stood. Hang on, have we got a train coming? No. So where you're stood here and you just look into the depth of the land that's in front of you, it feels like an actual town. It feels like you're there, or you're walking into that area. Oh, yes, I couldn't have designed it better if I redesigned it. I really couldn't. So I'll take it. And the fact that you can hear the Plomple Pop music from everywhere around the park as well is just both nauseating and perfect. So we're now going to walk back around this way, because we are drawing to a close. So we're going to come back round through here. There's, of course, our main entrance again. Lots of entertainers in this park, by the way. It's a kids' park. You've got to keep them entertained. So there we go. So we're going to walk back through this way. And then we're going to essentially exit via the gift shop, because what would happen here is you would exit this way, and then these doors would be these doors in front of us here would be closed, and you would come out through this way here, right? But before we go, what I wanted to do is show you the maintenance areas and the service areas and stuff that I've put in here. So first off, you've got guest services. So of course, every park has got guest services. That's what you'd expect, right? So yes. Of course it's in there. But if you walk through this way, ta-da, you've got an entire back of house area that you can go and investigate. So if you look out that way, there's your back of house to start with. So all of this was touched up in the final touches episode. I'll talk you through that in a moment. But there's also other things to do, because you can go up here. Oh wait, no, you can't, because it's not a solid. Oh yes, you can. There we go. You come up in here, and it's an entire office space. Of course it is. So this is the brains of the operation, or the heart of the entire park. And the reason I wanted to come up here was because we were talking in the episode that I built it about there being these awesome sightlines and stuff. And we're going to put that to the test, because I've added loads of trees. I don't know if I've blocked the sightlines, but we'll do that anyway. But can you imagine, like, this being your view from your office down into the gift shop? Yes. Yes. And then down into... Oh, that's still down into the gift shop. Okay, right. So, view from the windows, because I wanted to bring this full circle, because I was talking about this in the episode I built this. So, here is the view of the park from your office. Wait, hang on. What am I stuck to? I ruined that, didn't I? Should we try that again? No, wait. Stop. Stop moving, Chacho. What are you doing? Like, stop pressing keys on the keyboard. This is the view of the park from your office window. Yes. Love it. It's all right, actually. What about the other windows? Wait, hang on. Oh, man. I really don't know why you guys stick around when my camera work is this bad. Like, yes. No wonder I post a video and I lose loads of subscribers. Anyway, view from the window. This'll do. Close enough. So there you go. That's the view from the window and the tree. Love it. Right, so shall we go back out? I have got no idea where I am. There we go. Oh, man. Oh, can I just get out? There you go. We'll just do it from the top here. Because I'm now stuck to the roof. Oh, what a mess. Guys, I'm not even going to re-record that, because that's the kind of chaos that we get up to in this park. Like, in this channel, in this series. It's the perfect end. Just cut the video there. So guys, anyway, this is the park from the top. In case you were wondering what it actually looks like. So this is the completed Cadnham Castle, including, by the way, Spike's Castle. So thank you so much for the support of this series. I really do appreciate it. Like, it means the absolute world to me that you guys are still around, and we are about to enter the 3rd year. The next series is a Cedar Point mega park. Bigger is better. Bigger, taller, faster, the lot. God help my PC. So if you want to stick around for that, then please make sure you have subscribed. If you're liking the park, please make sure you like, comment, and all of the usual stuff. If you fancy leaving a super thanks, you would be the best person on this planet, and I would love you forever. Right, guys. See you in a bit. See you next series. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.